Okay. Morning, everybody. We'll see how this goes. The model seems to be suffering this morning. I've tried a couple changes to fix it up, but we'll see. We'll see if it retains the ability to exist, or if it just keeps freezing up. So, it's been a while. I've had other stuff going on, so we haven't done a lot of these streams. Sugar Jazz, Ushi, Zetsu, Greffrey, Ushi, K-Bro, Allison, Lyco, Iterate. How's it going, everybody? So yeah, we're here to talk about beat-em-ups. We even have a definition. So yeah, we're talking about belt-scrolling beat-em-ups specifically. Pretty well-known specific subgenre, I guess, is how I'd put it. And yeah, we've got a grading scale. So try and get some general idea of how good we think the games are. Obviously, this is a bit subjective and all that kind of stuff, but yeah. Anyway, let's go to the actual game. Do I let the intro play out? I could let the intro play out. It is kind of a big part of the Turtles stuff. Well, it does have a reasonable chance of getting the VOD muted, but, you know, whatever. It's not my problem. Game is. You put it like there. All right. Well, whatever. Good enough.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, let's kick some down!
Yeah, this game's been out for a couple years. It's seen some pretty significant changes from release, so there's not really any way for me to go back and play previous versions of games like this. So kind of what I like to do when I can is have the final, more or less, version. We'll regret to the beginning, because that's how it goes. It's what the game is. Super attack. Down in there. Flip. Proximity grabs. Got the TMNT 4 grab. So this mechanic is one of the things I think is kind of shit about this game, is the taunt mechanic.
Is the key. Select your hero.
And then yeah, there's quite a few characters, including DLC. Kind of like, I think because this has progression, I'm kind of like forced to just stick with the character. So I think I'm just gonna play Leo. Yeah, you can do colors, I guess. I don't know when they added that. This is quite the art. Live foots. What the shell? Oh boy.
Job-breaking news.
Oh right, there's challenges for all kinds of stuff. Running's a bit weird. You have like a lot of delay to it. I like that he picks up the cameraman, takes him with him, can't lose that. Oh, right, so one of the things that's kind of weird in this game is if you're like slightly off axis from an enemy, it'll pull you into them. And I think this is intended as a mechanic to like help prevent combos from dropping, but I find it really annoying because I get moved into stuff that I don't want to. I found somebody. I couldn't see who that actually was because it was scrolled off screen by then. That move is psychotic. I can give him the AVP and change sides midway through an attack. Yeah, I really don't like getting pulled onto axis with enemies. I get why they did it, but the enemies are pretty aggressive in this game. Like, I expect them to be much more passive like most TMNT games, but they really do attack quite a bit. level feels like it's been quite long.
That report is my magnum opus. Hi-ya!
Alright. Bebop's pretty straightforward.
Looks like another victory for the forces of good. Cowabunga!
Not sure why they just kept Krang's head there. Or Super Krang's head. Seems like a weird... I don't quite get the whole premise, actually, because they gifted the reporter, Krang's, Super Krang's head? Okay, what do I do at the turtle's lair? Oh, this is just like achievements? Okay.
Big Apple, 3 p.m.
They stole our tire! You can't jump to extend this like old games. It's okay. I really am not gonna get over getting pulled into enemies' axis. I'm sorry. I know it's gonna be something I'm gonna complain about a ton during this whole playthrough, but it's just the reality of it working that way. Are we just spending this whole level trying to get our tire back? Is that the whole stage? Right, her. She's some sort of character. But you're just invincible during the backdash. Okay. That changes some things. This guy is ready. The sprite art is very silly in this game in a way that works pretty well for it. just stole the whole ass engine? Yeah, I see. I just need to be using, I need to be using, the roll, not the dash, to try and cancel stuff. Infinity Pizza? That probably gives me infinite super motor, huh? Super is pretty good. I'm glad it's like quick. It would be better if it just didn't stop time at the beginning of it, but it is pretty quick.
Say your prayers. You never learn, Rocksteady.
Yeah, you can kind of go ham once you realize that's invincible, huh? Like that! Oh my god, I got pulled so far, dude. For some reason, I can't recognize that kick as being able to start up through his attack unless he's, yeah. I feel like sometimes it doesn't let me double jump. Can I not double jump late? Yeah, I mean, shifting to pull you onto axis makes sense to make sure combos don't drop, but as long as you don't have variation in the depth axis and how much they hit, it wouldn't matter. Like, if you're already hitting someone when you're a certain distance off axis, you're going to continue hitting them that far off axis, you know? What's here? Oh, those are... okay. No collectibles. Oh, this stage. This stage sucks ass. Like, actually. I mean, the stage itself isn't that bad. The boss is just completely awful.
Let's keep our eyes on the road.
Yeah, there was no chance that was happening anyway. The boss will absolutely hit me. Whoop. The hits there were like fucking with the music a little bit. you can taunt just to get the full super meter back, which I don't usually do because it's a dumb mechanic, in my opinion. But against this boss, I may have to because this boss sucks ass. I don't fully... I guess that attack just has really bad recovery, of course. Yeah, I don't understand. I guess if I'm axis jumping, I can't double jump. No, I can. I just sometimes can't double jump. Attack just has a tremendous amount of recovery. That's what it comes down to. Oh my god, that does so much damage to him now. Alright. So I guess they made this boss not suck as bad by having it just take 1 billion damage. So this is where they lose the plot. They're just like, yeah, it just drives around. Alright, they significantly made that boss less terrible, but it's still just, like, conceptually not great. I mean, I think the surfing stages are fine in most of the TMNT games. Honestly, even this one, like, on release I know that one was awful, but that was fine. I just realized I can make him say that at any time, even during combos. If I don't already have the meter. Honestly, I think, like another kind of like, I don't know if I'd call it a complaint. The dash startup being the way it is a little annoying. Oh, okay. What's this? Just one big slam down? Okay. Nice. What the? That's the tracking nonsense that I'm talking about right there. I keep trying to dash or jump to avoid stuff instead of using the flip. It's just bad muscle memory from like an entirely different game. Maybe it's because this game feels like Streets of Rage 4 to me, and that's something you just have to do in that game is jump, like straight up. It's a nonsense game. Eat it. Got hit by a banana and lost an achievement for it. I keep already being committed to something when that happens.
You're gonna get the horns, partner. Can you dig it, suckers?
Okay. Oh, those are still holes. Ah, yes. So this is the fun part about this game's bosses, is things like Ground Chuck, where you can just like go invincible and then go invincible again.
Looks like another victory for the forces of good.
Yeah, realizing how good the flip is changes these boss fights kind of dramatically, though.
Brain's head is getting away, dudes.
Krang's head is getting away. One can get a special reward. See what it is. What do you got for me? 50 points!
Finally, my complete collection of headlights.
See, now here it's trying to track me to that guy down there and get hit by the rail car. Huh? How do you do that? Oh, I guess he's spawned like that. Subway. Guess this is how I was intended to do that fight. Krang's been abducted by rats!
How y'all doing? Katana slash. Hi-ya! Knock it off.
Okay. Now this boss, I know, at least at one point in time, could just be invincible constantly. Yeah, this attack. Like, I have no idea why you would do this. Like, if he did this 3 times in the fight or something, it'd be one thing, but every time he gets knocked down, and sometimes when he doesn't get knocked down, Yeah, this game's primary problem in the long run is probably that they just really like giving bosses an attack that you have to avoid that they're invincible during. Like, a lot of bosses do it, and they're pretty long. And yeah, like you said, like, if it was a threshold thing, if every third of his health, he did it once, it'd be like, alright, that's fine. Not great, but it'd be fine. I think it would have been funnier if these guys just didn't even come out. They just accepted their 9 to 5 instead of fighting the turtles. I think boss invincibility can be fine as long as you're not like overly leaning on it. Can be useful to enforce certain like things you want people to have to interact with, but the problem is when that thing you have to interact with gets really old. Like one example of a time when boss invincibility works really well is Abadede when he does his counterattack. They make him invincible during the counterattack, and that's important because that enforces the counterattack. And there's ways to work around that counterattack. It's not just something that happens constantly. Yeah, I think like some games get into the opposite problem where they just allow the player to do whatever they want at all times to enemies and bosses. And that's a problem to me too, you know? Like, you want to enforce a way for there to be a challenge. That guy's still playing the broken machine.
The right of Tempestra.
It's game over for you, Tempestra.
I like how it keeps trying to track her when I have to be attacking the simulation thing. lasts a long time.
Beaten by turtles?
Okay.
No.
Looks like another victory for the Force.
See, I think this boss's invincibility is fine because you have a way of interacting with the invincibility. She's making invincibility to summon something else that you'd fight with. So like it's essentially an extension of her health bar. The problem with Rat King's invincibility is he goes invincible and you just do this pattern where you're watching him and you can't interact with it in any way.
What a shocker.
Like the person said before, if you could like attack him when he was doing that pattern and knock him off so that it was interruptible, it would be like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. What's up here? Oh, just a shortcut.
Roof running reptile.
Just assembling Krang.
Keep your eyes open.
What a trip down memory lane.
Back at you, creeps.
Got him! Why couldn't I double jump? I don't understand this game's double jumps. Like, I feel like I can't do them half the time.
You off myself.
Alright, see you later. But it's not the space jump thing. I tested it when there was nothing going on, and I could... I guess it is just when I'm going down. Okay. I feel like I tried that earlier, and it wouldn't let me. Or it would let me when I was on the way down, but... God, the amount you slide to track enemies is so wild. Oh, it didn't let me carry it. Okay, these guys have armor like crazy. Alright, noted.
This is for a high-risk assignment, but I love danger.
Oh my god! That super did so much damage.
Come on, let's go!
Ugh.
Panic in the sky!
It was just the regular super. I just caught both of them.
Gotta stop!
What? Oh, I see. This is still a normal belt scroller. It just has weird flying.
Surf's up! In the city, I'm fired up and I'm feeling giddy. Fists rumble in the air like thunder.
It's interesting that getting grabbed and the combo. Why while doing a backflip?
Surf's up! In the city, I'm fired up and I'm feeling giddy. Fists rumble in the air like thunder. This battle rises
Right, I can't get another super move because I'm already at it. Oh, I see.
you up like dynamite.
They've given me a lot of pizzas that I didn't really need that bad. Like, I feel like they were stingier in stage 1 with pizzas than they have been here. Alright, see you, Crane. I don't feel like Wingnut shooting a bunch of missiles is a very Wingnut thing to do, but maybe I'm just not familiar.
Down there, by the beach.
plunger gun.
Back at you, creeps. Hi-ya! Uh-oh, why am I here? I'll handle this. Back at you, creeps.
And they break throws fast considering they're guarding enemies.
Your history. Hi-ya!
Can they just not be thrown? Every time I've tried to throw them, they break as soon as I actually hit the button.
Hi-ya! Delicious. I should offer you some.
Interesting. I understand conceptually what this enemy was supposed to do, but at least when they're alone, it doesn't work out that well.
Hi-ya! 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 I'll finish you off myself.
Pop a balloon.
Hi-ya!
I guess I just got something depending on which one broke.
Hi-ya!
Yeah, it's good to know. That's something I was kind of wondering about. It seemed like upkick was invincible sometimes, but it is not.
Hi-ya!
Just is fast enough to interrupt a lot of stuff.
You don't be escaping from old man.
What is this? Like, what is this time wasting nonsense? Like, this is barely an attack. It's, as long as you roll like ever, he will never hit you. This fight sucks, dude. Like, this isn't hard at all. This is incredibly easy. But it's just tedious as shit because he keeps being invincible. Well, not invincible. I guess he's technically hittable. But he might as well be invincible. God.
Gumbo. Looks like another victory for the forces of good. Hey, come back here with that android torso.
Collect their disgusting bugs.
A few screws loose. Let's follow that torso. Hi-ya!
I goofed.
Hi-ya! That's your spot.
Was there hittable? Dang. Oh, that explains that.
Think of trying to steal my story.
Whoa, big rings. Can you come down somewhere where you're like remotely on screen? Not a super great use of that. I don't know why I thought jumping straight up would work there. Trying to dodge again, but I guess I can't in that situation because I was already in the dodge startup thing. Okay, good interaction there. That hitbox is wacky.
It's also clear to me now, the turtles are my friends. System crash.
Looks like another victory for the forces of good.
Alright, not bad. The missile thing was a little weird, but it was like an attack I had to actually interact with him for, so that was good.
Tonight, I dine on turtle soup.
Up to 7 lives.
Dinosaur stampede! Come on, let's go! Back at you, creeps!
Roll, please.
Back at you, creeps!
This is gonna get me a major promotion.
Back at you, creeps! Hi-ya!
Oh, geez, nice diagonal charge. Shield guys are kind of weird because they're so focused on staying on the one side. It almost makes them easier than if they weren't. Oh, there he is. He actually turned around and punched. I think that's the first time I've seen one of those guys do that. Crystal Shard. Is that not an attack animation? That's just their hit reel? I kept thinking they were charging up a big punch, but... I'm beginning to think that's not actually what's happening there. That hit me there. Okay. The hitbox on the gun is wild. Here it is. Here's the attack. Oh, I guess maybe they changed that. I remember that attack being like eternal and awful. Huh. That was like pretty whatever fight, honestly, other than the hitbox of the gun being like wacky. That's wild, because I remember that fight being just completely terrible.
It won't fly!
Whoa! Oh man, these guys are kicking my ass. Or Mega Mausers or whatever. Oh. Oh. What do I need to do to these guys? These guys are requesting some gimmick of me and I don't understand what it is. Dash attack? No. Maybe it's just I need to hit them until they actually fall over. Yeah, I guess it's just hit them. That still was lingering, huh? Maybe it just has to be the like strong attack part of the attack string. Okay, yeah, it's just the actual strong thing that's over. I see. Kind of annoying, but... actual case for the tracking being important.
Buzz off, turtles! I'll have my revenge!
Oh, I was hoping to float that. Yeah, that lasts a really long time. Okay, another invincible phase attack. I thought I was liking this boss, and then he did that.
Curse you know.
Guess we only did it once.
Looks like another victory for the forces of good.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some really interesting stuff. Like, the way you move around isn't bad once you understand. Like, there's a couple things that I expect it to let me do that it doesn't, but, like, they're replaced with other things that are good that you can do. So, that's not bad, just, like, it is what it is.
The old dome has seen better days.
I still don't really like getting sucked into attack strings. And also, like, holy shit, this game is long and it doesn't need to be this long.
Okay, fellas, keep your eyes open.
Grab the other way. It's also weird to me, like, that there's not a way to OTG enemies. Like, not because there's anything in particular that dictates that you should be able to. It just feels like the way combat flows. Like, it's the type of thing they'd want you to be able to do fairly freely.
Think they're trying to steal my story.
Especially on enemies like Stone Warriors that just kind of end up on their ass when you hit them. did I like stop?
Katana splash.
Why am I stuck? Okay. Please do attacks. Oh, okay. That was weird. I got magneted to this position for the boss. God, supers do so much damage to bosses sometimes. Oh, it's not at the end of the stage. Nope. I assume that was going to be a breakable, if not a hazard. I do not like these guys. If they didn't vanish right after shooting when you're close to them, it'd all be fine. Can't dodge through hazards. Noted. Okay.
Intruder alert.
this. Oh, just this boss is always invincible until he does this. Nice. Very fun. Love it.
Looks like another victory for the forces of good. Let's crash Shredder's party, amigos.
I think, you know, so I'm not a big fan of oh, let's see what he's got. Gotta go halfway across the universe to cash it in. I usually am not a big fan of split paths in beat 'em ups. I don't feel like they add that much. But I feel like if you're in a situation like this where you want to make like a world map and have
It's about time. My
100
games are
points.
Priceless.
I don't know how I feel about points just being the reward for these. But yeah, like if you want a game like this where you've just got all this content and all these side things to do, I feel like making a map that's more dynamic and you can actually like go and do paths and not do all of the content would go a long way. You know, like you have branching paths, and if you want 100%, you can go fight everything. Those were stage hazard. Okay. I assume those planes were just enemies, like straight up enemies. But I guess they're a stage hazard because they did the spit thing. Like, I am loath to say that I would prefer branching paths to what they did, but I think I legitimately would. I mean, I think branching paths can be fine as long as you understand what you're doing with them. I don't like them, personally. But I'd rather have branching paths than just, like, infinity content for the sake of content in a row. I mean, Shadow over Mystara, the branching paths are quite fine. The problem with branching paths is that then you get into, like, well, there's just, like, clearly a path people are going to want to go. And here's the path where we avoid the content that sucks. But, like, this game very much has the feel of, like, hey, we have a chance to make all these references, so we have to make all of the references. Even, like, these people that I'm finding who are, like, these really obscure Turtles comic references and stuff, it's like, you could just not, you know? You don't have to. That was a pretty interesting fight.
Let's get down to business.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, like, the TV show isn't the only thing they're referencing from. A lot of it's referencing from,
Come on, let's go. Back at you, Grease.
like, the comics. Yes, I'm aware I need to get things. Hey, Krang. Regular Krang. I wonder if I'll ever be able to see that as actually hit real and not just him winding up for a punch. These guys are so stupid. Oops. Guess we'll just do that. I think the little drone guys are my least favorite enemy at this point. Oh, okay. I was thinking they were gonna jump straight forward. No. Happy no matter what. Come on. Do the attack. Oh, there. Wait on the roll. The one time I wanted to track, and it just sits there swinging. All right, Krang. Whoa. Everything that happened there looked like it was animated just wrong. Also, that Krang theme sucked.
Well, for my diversion, I have a surprise for you.
Krang theme, it's so iconic for being like the loud. It was the heavy guitar just doesn't work. Oh, that lasted a long time. Okay. Not a terribly difficult shredder fight.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Right, this thing. I forgot about this whole sequence. Probably because it's 2 hours deep into the game. I've completed the request for the people who I haven't found yet. Oh, can I not roll that? I don't know where I was supposed to be for that. Down here? That attack, I can see that attack. I know what it's coming, and I, like, don't know what the correct response is to dodge it. Like, if I'm already jumping away, I'm fine. Anyway, we blew up the Statue of Liberty. So, that's nice. Right, and this is the fight where we can only damage him in a handful of specific times. Because this game sucks ass. Can I respawn so I can miss an entire cycle? probably supposed to kill all these, huh? We missed the entire cycle because the death animation takes 1,000 years.
My revenge? Impossible.
That fight actually sucks. There's a lot of the fights in this game that I think like have an interesting concept and are ruined by one move, and that fight it's just like, I'm glad I can never hit him. It's dumb because like all you have to do like to make that fight not feel awful is make it so that you can hit him for minor damage, even if he was permanently armored during the big phase. If he just had permanent armor and you could hit him for small amounts of damage, it would feel so much better. Because then, like, the vulnerability cycles would feel good. Like, hitting him when he was vulnerable would feel good because that's when you get big damage. But it feels like, you can interact with him during the rest of the fight instead of just, like, literally going, okay, well, this is the part where I do a Danmaku. God, fucking Casey eating through the mask is so terrifying and so fitting for Casey. Don't question Casey Jones' abilities. Never underestimate the power of the Goongala.
Ready or not, here I come. Turtles, let's kick some shell.
Yeah, I don't know. I like, really thinking about it, I can't think of a game I've ever played that would benefit from having just like branching paths or a free world exploration type of deal. Or not free world exploration, but like, if you could kind of more freely choose between which stages to go to, and there was a direct route that was like half as many stages that went straight to the end, and the rest was kind of like optional content that unlocked stuff. Or, you know, not even unlock like big things, but like, obviously your character gets better over the course of the game with extra meters and a little bit of extra health. But like, you could do the side quests, side stuff to get that unlocked. Or maybe there's just an entirely another path to get to Shredder, you know? Or two. Well, there's different ways you could do it, but man, 2 hours for a sitting is it's rough. Like a River City. River City is a bit deceptive because River City you can freely explore the world, but at least the like River City NES and River City Girls actually have a direct linear path you have to follow, and then there's optional side content. My point was more like you could do something like what Final Fight 3 does, where there's a couple different splitting paths, which admittedly Final Fight 3 does kind of in a shitty way, but there's a couple different splitting paths that you can follow to the end. But in this, you could make the map be, yeah, Super Mario 3 would be a good example of like, you could make it so that there's multiple paths accessible, and either of them might end up leading to the same place in the long run, but you don't have to go both of them. But if you want to, like, all the content is there. Super Mario 3, it is totally valid to go to every single stage and play through it. Like, that's a thing people do because they like that game. And I think that would be very easy to do. Like, you've already got the map. All you have to do is rearrange it a little bit, and you're there, you know? But 2 hours is a long time for a beat 'em up. It does have a good number of things to do. You know, like the way you interact with enemies is really interesting in this game now. Honestly, like the dodge, being able to dodge or jump out of attacks just gives you a lot of flexibility with evading stuff, and it's not like totally overpowered because if you do the dodge attack, then you're kind of stuck a little bit. But it's just difficult. Like, it's clear they wanted to add a lot of content into this game, and they wanted a lot of different things, different references and things, and that's okay.
I'm fired up and I'm feeling gritty. Fists rumble in the air like thunder. This battle ride's gonna take you under.
Yeah, the format is basically like your normal attacks and dash attack you can cancel into whatever. If you do a dodge and then do the dodge attack, you can cancel the dodge attack into an attack, but you can't cancel the dodge attack into another dodge. So like you're slightly committed on a dodge attack. Jump attacks, obviously you're stuck in the air. One thing that was weird, you can cancel some things. You can do up kick into dive kick, obviously, with Leo. I assume that might be different with other characters. But you can do up kick into dive kick, but every once in a while I was able to double jump out of that. And I'm not sure what happened to make that happen. Maybe I was just jump canceling it and doing something weird. Like I was just doing an attack and jump canceling it and not actually doing the up kick. And doing just like a really low to the ground double jump. Maybe that's what was happening.
Gonna kick some shell. Speed demons up high. We're gonna make you cry. Step on it, farewell. We're gonna make you yell. Mutant ninjas in the sky. You're gonna kiss yourself goodbye. Kiss yourself goodbye.
Also say like a pretty common thing they did is the enemies have some kind of tell. The bosses have some kind of tell for their basic like punch you next to them attack. But the tells were like wildly different in how apparent they were. Like Krang, because of how Krang looks when he gets hit, it is very, very obvious when he's winding up a punch. Whereas like Rocksteady, I almost didn't know if it was the hit stun or the kick after seeing it, you know? Well, also, I missed a resub. I probably missed a lot of resubs. I didn't really read much of chat this whole stream. I kind of was... This is a game without a lot of long breaks. Frethia, thanks for the resub. Let's see. Creator dashboard will help. That shows all this. Guess that was the only one today. I unlocked Casey Jones.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So I don't want to play too much more. I do want to briefly look. Yeah, arcade mode is the whole ass game, which is not something that I like.
Select your hero.
Because again, 2 hours is rough. And their DLC that I don't have. Yeah.
Let's bust some crime.
Got to see what Casey's about. Just see what this is nonsense.
Job breaking news.
Elbow drop. Okay. Double that. Oh, I forgot about the charge up attack. Dash headbutt. That's his dodge. It's just a hop. There's no. Man, he's got some big ass buttons. Basically the same as Leo's. Basically the same attack as Leo's. Just ground slam. Also, there's a basketball somewhere in that. He's the same supers as Leo. All three of them do the same shit. Alright. I mean, that's fine. Leo's supers were good, but I know they're also not like everyone's.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shredders. Let's kick some shit.
I mean, they may have some slight differences in how they operate, but they are fundamentally doing the same thing. Alright, let's write some stuff. And let's get some music going again. Don't update. Okay. And let's get out of here. A game highly inspired by TMNT for SNES and the other Turtles. This game, it's a wonderfully nostalgic presentation. While still feeling modern. The movement and vision needs fit in well to make a flexible combat interactions for most games. The music is possibly a good attention for many people with some many of the tracks being something that would more traditionally be in a video game, but some tracks. Specific boss design is probably the game's biggest failure, with many bosses having long, vulnerable cycles that have no real player interaction other than evasion. Also quite long for the format it presents, probably being 2 hours minimum for a See, now this is a good crank theme. The heavy guitar just doesn't do it. It's gotta have this loud obnoxiousness to it. Recommend this game to any turtles looking for a lot of quick dynamic decisions without absolutely overwhelming. You may not enjoy this game if you are looking nice. Quick single sitting. The nature of the bosses is yeah, sorry, we're done, Green. We finished the game. I will say, you know, there was a point in time where I probably would have said this game fucking sucks, and I hate it. And maybe it's changed enough in design from when it released, because they did patch it. Like, there are things they changed. But I would not hate playing this game again. I really, my big thing is that I really like beat 'em ups as a genre, partially because of the concise, like, sit down and play it through once, and that's a nice little, like, hour activity you can do, and then you're done. Like, that's part of the appeal of the genre to me, is they're very concise in that way. And this game isn't. And you know, there are other games that aren't concise in that way that are still okay. Like, if you look at ones that are intended to be more of like a long RPG experience, like you look at something like Dragon Crown, where you clearly you're not intended to sit down and play through Dragon Crown in a setting, because like the way it's designed is you go into a stage and you do all this stuff, and then there's other stuff to do involving being in that stage, like with the RPG mechanics. And that's not my preference of how a beat 'em up is designed, but it's also a unique enough design. It's a unique enough design that I understand that I'm not coming at it with the intent for that to be what it is. You're not coming at Dragon's Crown with the expectation that you're going to sit down and play through the game. You come at it with the expectation you're going to sit down and play through a few missions, and you're going to do that over time. You know, it's much more of that type of continuous experience, like something like what Monster Hunter would be, for instance, where the game isn't a start to finish game in the nature of a session. It's a one session is making progression. And this game doesn't. This game kind of fails to find that footing, because it's obviously designed in a way where all the content is this continuous line and very arcade-like in that setting. but then also it's like a 2-hour, 3-hour long game, depending on how fast you're playing. Admittedly, like, yes, if you're speedrunning, I'm sure you can do it much faster, but, you know, speedrunning is a whole different ballgame. And again, like, we talked a lot about if you did, like, branching paths or some kind of, like, Super Mario 3 world map, how you could address that very easily without removing any content. It would just make it side content or alternate content, and you could choose which way to go. Right, but the story mode in this and also in Streets of Rage 4 is just all of the content in a row, except with the live settings being more restricted. That's it. Like, the arcade mode in these games, in this and Streets of Rage 4, is fake as hell to me. But, you know, I know there are also people out there who like longer games. And there are people out there who will play, you know, a half hour of this and then quit and come back another day and play another half hour. Yeah, arcade should be a more curated experience. Like, in my opinion, if you're going to make an arcade mode, all of the RPG mechanics, or at least a majority of them, should probably be stripped out of the game. You should possibly reorganize some of the content in such a way that makes the game shorter. Like, because that's another option you could do, is you could have, you know, you could have your big RPG mode, and then you could have an arcade mode that's just literally curated to be a different game. It could be a different game. It could use the same mechanics and the same environments and all that, and you just organize it in such a way that it's a different game, fundamentally. You fight different enemies at different times, they're different lengths, all that stuff. But that requires more work. It makes it a different experience, but you're still fundamentally operating in the same engine, you know? I said the same thing about River City Girls, where I feel like you could have very easily taken all the assets in River City Girls and River City Girls 2 and turned it into a linear experience and taken away all the RPG mechanics, but given you some kind of moveless expansion option that was like some package thing. And you could do all that and make another experience that's different, but it's one that somebody could sit down and play reasonably in an hour. And I don't know if I've ever seen a beat-em-up do that. But anyway, that's all a sidetrack. So in terms of grade, I think this game is solidly a B. I think if it didn't have the boss designs be the way they are, that alone, you know, the length thing is something for me personally that I feel strongly about, but I'd be willing to kind of look past that if I felt the boss designs weren't so weird. And to be clear, that's not just something that's my opinion, that's something I've heard about this game a lot. Like, that is absolutely the biggest thing I've heard about this game, is people do not like the boss designs, primarily because of the amount of time they spend not being able to interact with the boss. Because fundamentally, this is a genre of interaction, right? Like, the whole point of playing a beat-em-up is that you're interacting continuously with the other enemies on screen. Yeah, the length is also, like, the length is just poorly suited to what the genre is if you're not doing something else directly with it. So, I can't in good conscience give this an A. I just can't. I think it could easily be tweaked to be an A. But, well, there's other outside forces than that. So, like, another outside force that kind of fucks over this genre is the Steam policy of you can redeem any game if you've played it less than 2 hours. And, you know, it sounds stupid, but there are absolutely people who can, have, will, and make it even their mission, if they can beat a game in under 2 hours, to buy it, beat it, and return it. And, like, getting a form of content that allows a game to be beaten in under an hour, but then also dictates that people can't do that easily, is difficult. Like, it's extremely difficult. And that's where the arcade mode things comes into me, because, like, if you as a player come in and you play arcade mode and you see that there's more content in the game, there's a story mode you haven't touched, but, like, you've beaten the game, then you might not be inclined to go do that. You know, if you play through arcade mode once and you go, oh, cool, that was fun, and now there's story mode where, and most likely most people are going to go to story mode first, not arcade mode. But the point remains, you could make a game in such a way that it is beatable under 2 hours, but also that it kind of is a thing. I almost feel like Steam needs an option to like tell people that your game is shorter and that it won't be refundable in under 2 hours. It's a really shitty problem because like I appreciate greatly that Steam just allows people to refund games in that way because like there are a lot of reasons to want to refund a game. It's a law? Oh, okay. But I mean, they wouldn't have to follow Australian law everywhere. They could just say, in Australia, we have to return within 2 hours. That would be an easy thing for them to do. Anyway, this is the only game for today. I am going to... I need to take a break for lunch, but this afternoon, T5 asked me to show him some belt scrollers, kind of open-endedly. And I mean, you all, a lot of you have been here long enough to see the kind of things that have happened in this project. So, yeah. It'll be interesting. I will show him some things. Yeah, that'll be here. But before that, we have to do a vote. So, last time, whenever it was, we did a vote where we had a two-way tie. And today, because I didn't want to do these for various reasons today, we're going to do a tiebreaker on these two. Where is this? So, one is that we can play... I'm going to say next time's assignment because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be doing this next week or not. PlayStation superhero games, which has some doozies. Or else we can just play Sega Saturn games. Those are our options. It's one of those two that we're doing. Yeah, Batman Forever arcade, but ported to PlayStation. Pretty great. The Saturn has some shit. Is the flip side. Like, both of these have some shit. Yeah, Batman Forever arcade is, probably a game that's escaped its genre in a lot of ways. It has a lot of things. It does a lot of things that are not at all within the normal rules you would expect for a beat 'em up. I may have to do some research too. A couple of these games could be quite difficult to actually finish. Yeah, Konami, the big thing with Konami to me is like all the Turtles tracks that they did are good. And Konami did good music in general, but Konami's Krang themes were just next level. And I should mention, the games that are on this are intended to be played, but there's no guarantee that I'll get to all of them or that there's not other stuff. So just be aware. Alright, what have we got? Few results. The Saturn came out ahead by a bunch. Alright, well, that'll be whenever the next stream is. Possibly next week. Next week is certainly plausible. But I'm not going to guarantee it quite yet. I should know by tomorrow. Yep, there it is. Good end to the stream. What's going on? I don't know if I've ever heard of Jeff. They're a person that a lot of my friends seem to know. We'll do that. Yeah. So I will be on again. In what? 3 hours? 3-ish hours? 3 or 4 hours? Depends. See ya.